Y Combinator is an American-based accelerator and one of the most successful at that. Over 4,000 startups have passed through Y Combinator, and they have funded over 2,000 tech startups, including Stripe and Airbnb. Michael Stibel is a managing director at YC, and according to him, one thing that separates startups that succeed from those that don't succeed is their ability to execute. Yes, the ability to execute cannot be overemphasized. Having done all the envisioning, all the planning, all the designing, you need to be able to deliver. Building the right and awesome digital products is about building the right product and building the product right. Before now, most of what we have discussed is about building the right product. Now, to build the product right, we need to talk about product delivery. So product delivery is essentially about building the product right. It's about bringing out and creating that functional application or software or product and releasing it to the market. There are basically two approaches you can follow: the traditional approach and the agile approach. Now, before now, how applications or software was done was this: you start by entering into some form of contract, signing project charter in the process of initiating the project. Then a detailed requirement is gathered and signed off. Then you move into the process of development and later testing and then release. And the target is always a single release. The whole solution or product is built at once. Now, this is a sequential process and sometimes takes a number of months or even years. This is the traditional approach. Now, there are a couple of drawbacks to this approach. One is that in today's fast evolving business world, the product you conceived a year ago or 18 months ago or even 6 months ago, if you deliver it that way to the market today, may not meet the right market fit because so many things would have changed. Now, there was one of the things that affected HP touchpad was that on releasing touchpads, Apple iPad 2 came into the market and had features far in ahead of the HP touchpad. That because of some of these drawbacks, the agile approach today seems to be the ideal way and the preferred way of building digital products because it enables you to deliver value incrementally. It enables you to take a small chunk of the product, deliver it, get feedback, iterate, improve, and get back to the customers. It works with fixed time boxes where you decide to release products on a regular interval. It enables you to respond to the change in the market. And because the today's business world is very dynamic, it is a better and preferred way to deliver products to the market. So we'll be focusing on agile project delivery. So agile project delivery is basically a philosophy about delivering projects. and developing products. And it is based on the Agile Manifesto. And here is the Agile Manifesto. First is that individual and interaction is preferred over process and tools. The second manifesto is that working software is preferred over comprehensive documentation. The next philosophy around Agile is that customer collaboration is preferred over contract negotiation. And then responding to change is preferred over following a plan. So these are the 4 Agile manifesto and on which the Agile project delivery is based on. So Agile is basically a philosophy about delivering projects. It's a philosophy that encourages incremental delivery. It's a philosophy that encourages responding to market changes, building based on customers' feedback. And now there are many frameworks you can use to implement Agile. One of the most popular is Scrum. Now you can choose to adopt Scrum or some of the other ones like Kanban, like extreme programming, or you can even build your own customized delivery framework based on the philosophy. The most important thing is to follow that philosophy of responding to the market, of getting feedback and iterating and improving on your product. So this is the Scrum framework at a glance. So basically, when you conceive that product, you build a product backlog, which is a list of all the possible features in the product. Then you fix a time box, say 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, and you take some chunk of the product backlog that can be completed within that time box. You put it into a sprint backlog, and then within the period of the sprint, you work on those backlog, having daily scrum to focus on the execution and having visibility on what is done daily by the development team. Then at the end of the sprint, your goal is to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. Now, one thing to point out here is that even though the agile process responds to change, most times if you have started a sprint, it is not encouraged that you change the sprint goal until it is achieved. That is why most times you try to make your sprint duration short. So the essence is to focus on that delivery within the sprint period. Now, after your sprint, you do a sprint review to look at the outcome and review the outcome of your sprint to ensure that it meets your sprint goal. And also, you do a sprint retrospective, which looks at your process and determines what worked and what did not work, with a view to improving on your process and becoming better at delivering value. So this is Scrum at a glance. Like I said, you must not use Scrum. You can use other agile framework. The most important thing is to deliver value incrementally and refine and iterate based on feedback from the customer. So if you're using the Scrum framework, there are 4 basic ceremonies you will need to do to effectively deliver on your goal. The first is sprint planning. This holds at the beginning of every sprint, where you determine the amount of work you can do within the time box based on your sprint velocity. The next is your daily scrum. This is where you meet daily to quickly inform everyone of what is going on across the team. So every team member during the scrum tells the team what he or she did the previous day, what he or she will be doing on the current day, and if there is any hindrance. Then the sprint review hosts at the end of every sprint to review the outcome of the sprint. Then the sprint retrospective also hosts at the end of the sprint to look at the process with a view to continuously improve on the process. In product delivery, there are some key principles to remember. You need to build your MVP, that is your minimum viable product, and push this to the market as fast as you can. You need to iterate fast. Remember, you need to respond to the market. So one thing you can do is iterate based on the feedback from the customers. Like I mentioned during our earlier discussion, when Apple released the Apple Map, initially there were so many errors and bugs. But one of the things that helped Apple was that Apple continued to improve on the Apple Map by releasing versions intermittently. Today, the Apple Map is far better than the first release of Apple. And you also see this in most other products. The version of Facebook you have today is far better than the first version of Facebook. The version of Google you have today is far better. The first version of Uber is a far cry from what you have today. So one of the things that helps you is to iterate fast based on the customers, keep improving, plowing back the feedback you get from the customers to make your products better. Then you need to deliver value incrementally to the customers. This is very key. Now, another principle to remember is to prioritize your backlog. You will always have a long backlog, which includes all the features you intend to put into your product and even the bugs you need to fix. But one thing that will help you is to have it prioritized in order of importance. And in doing this, you need to have the whole picture. The product backlog gives you a picture of all you need to do. But because you're using agile delivery, you need to focus on your next step, not on the whole picture. That enables you to focus on what needs to be delivered within the next 1 week, within the next 1 month or thereabout, and then be able to deliver it. Always note that focus is key. So friends, to build an awesome digital product, these are involved. 1, the product vision. This is a picture of the product you want to build. So have this picture in your mind, and your product essentially must solve real customer needs. Don't allow yourself to be drawn into building a product that doesn't solve real problems. The next thing that is involved is product strategy. Plan how to move from where you are to where you want to be. Then have your product discovery. Design the right product with the right customer in mind. And finally, and most importantly, product delivery, which enables you to build the right product and get it in the hands of the right customer. To do this, you need these critical items. First, you need the right leadership to envision, to mobilize resources, and to inspire your team. Then you need the right team. They say the right team makes the dream come true. The importance of the right team in delivering your product cannot be overemphasized. Then you need the right process. The right process ensures that you are able to deliver consistently and that you continuously improve. And not the core, you need the right technology. The right technology is that as at the core of your digital product. So to build an awesome digital product, you need innovative use of digital technology to drive the product. So friends, now having gone on through this, let's go. Let's go and unleash the creative genius in us. Remember, you were created in the image of God, and God is a creator. So you have creative genius in you. There is something great in you. There is a problem out there you can solve. Start now. Picture that awesome digital product in your mind. Picture that solution that solves that biting problem that people have, or you may even have. Identify the people you can work with, then create a plan and a strategy how to actualize this. Design your product iteratively, having feedback from your target customers, then deliver incrementally. With this, you can build the next awesome digital product. All the best. Thank you.